You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Weinbaum. I'm back from the beach. I'm in studio. Thanks to everyone that hung out with me last week in Jamaica. Went well. I it's always a little sketchy podcasting and broadcasting overseas, but the beard's coming back. What can I say? Wow, exciting card. This is crazy. We are in Vegas this week, and of course, as usual, if you're on the Periscope or YouTube or even my Facebook page, exciting. I'm streaming to all different places now. I did get a little message my stream quality is lowered, so hopefully everything turns out okay. I'm back up recording just in case. Apparently the great James Lynch just had some problems recording as well. That's why you always do a backup, my man. Always do a backup recording. And but, he's the king of broadcasting. And everyone knows the risk of live broadcasting is sometimes things go astray. So the main event on this card is Usman versus Covington. T-Mobile Arena, so many other fights to get to, and I'm going to cover the ones that interest me the most. So if you're on Periscope, wherever, feel free to chime in. If you're on the YouTube, hit subscribe, and all my loyal audio listeners continue to spread the word. I'm loving it. First off, way down below the card, it's Brandon Moreno versus Kara France. Okay, let's take a look at Brandon Moreno. He is one of my favorites. Glad to see him back in the UFC. He just had a split draw with Askarov. I picked him to win that fight. Before that, he beats Mikael Perez in LFA, and of course, a couple of losses led him out of the UFC. Before that, Sergio Pettis, of course, being amongst them. Now let's take a look at Kara France here. Coming off of several wins here. This guy hasn't lost since December 2016. And he's got some UFC fights. So this is a good fight to get Moreno really back in there. France has just beat Mark De La Rosa, Julian Paiva, I can't say that correctly probably, and Elias Garcia. So this is hard to pick, man. But if you want to go strength to schedule, I think they're probably about even. Neither guy has really beaten any top competition. I know that Moreno has a win over Louis Smolka, but that's back when he was 125 pounds and he was abusing alcohol. But, gosh, all of these fights on the card here, man, I don't know if I could make a bet on half these because they look kind of difficult here. So I'm just going Moreno, gut feeling. Yeah. Got to pick this fight, man. A couple of the guys have been around forever. Matt Brown, Ben Saunders, both fans of the I Quinta Realty account, by the way, I might add. I haven't seen Matt. Gosh. No, I think he did. I take that back. Yeah. I haven't seen Matt since 2017 where he just turned Diego Sanchez to dust. Before that, he's got a head kick loss to Cerrone back in 2016, like in the last round with 44 seconds to go. I don't know, man. Then you got Ben Saunders, hasn't had the greatest luck either lately. 3 losses in a row. Sergio Moraes, Lyman Good, Takashi Sato. If Matt Brown comes back healthy, I do believe that Ben's probably got the better jiu-jitsu rather, but yeah, I got a healthy Matt Brown coming back and winning against Ben Saunders. But hats off to both those guys, 2 good guys in the sport. Yeah. So top of the prelims here, Jeff Neal, of course, against Platinum Mike Perry. It's good to see his face grew back after that brutal fight against Nico Price. Man, that was crazy. I take that back. I'm sorry, Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque fought Mike Perry last. Okay, but we're taking a look here. Let's take a look at Jeff Neal here real quick. Hasn't lost in a very long time. Has a win over the very dangerous Nico Bilal Muhammad. That speaks to volume. Bilal's no joke. Frank Camacho, Brian Camozzi. Gosh. And then you got Platinum Mike Perry. That guy had no quit in him whatsoever. I mean, he got his face smashed. His nose wasn't where it was supposed to be. It was hard to look at. Just loses against Vicente Luque. Dangerous guy. Has a win over Alex Oliveira. He has that nice submission loss against Donald Cerrone here. Man. If you got to go against, guys fought more, I think, of the top competition, I would certainly say Mike Perry and Jeff Neal are kind of tied there. But, I think I want to go Mike Perry here. Again, nothing. This is not a fight I would bet on unless the odds are crazy. But, all right, this very first fight of the pay-per-view, Petr Yan against Uriah Faber, who has managed to turn back time here. Shut my phone off here. Sorry about that. Dana White's tweeting. Ooh, I bet he's not doing it himself. He hasn't even updated his fight description from UFC DC last week. So this is Tuesday. I miss the days where Dana White is on Twitter. All right. Holler if you agree, but Dana, never on Twitter anymore. It's very, very depressing. All right. Let's take a look at Petr Yan. Guy hasn't lost since Magomedov back in 2016. Let's just take a look at the hit list here. Jimmy Rivera, John Dodson, Douglas Silva de Andrade, Jinsu Son, Tetro Ishihara. So crazy. But who has fought the top guys? I'm going to admit, I'm the first one that picked against Uriah Faber. He is an underdog in this fight. This may be a good one if you're a big Uriah Faber believer. But I did not pick him to win against Ricky Simone. I thought Ricky was the young buck here. Maybe it was an early stoppage, maybe not. But, he says he learned this from the great Song Yadong. That combo that got him there. But he did go out on a win against Brad Pickett back in 2016. So, second time he fights this year. Last fight in July. Man. They're not doing him any favors. They're not putting him against anyone easy. And if you want to do MMA math, Yan has a win over Jimmy Rivera. Faber couldn't beat him. So, I want to make sure it's not that weird. It was a decision, yeah. So, gosh, interesting here. Very, very interesting. I do want to pick Faber badly. He is the underdog in this fight, but I got Yan on this one. I think he's going to show his age a little bit here, and Yan's going to be too much for him. Oh, man. Oh, is this fight going to happen? Please let this fight happen. MMA gods, look out for Jose Aldo. Can he make 135 pounds? I don't know. Look, everyone's saying he looks terrible in these pictures that are, of him cutting weight and this, that, and thinning down. I think he's just in a thin frame. I can't say that he's dehydrated or anything else. It's just he looks like a totally different human. And we saw what happened when TJ Dillashaw tried to cut too much weight, He didn't even look normal. I just hope to God, with these weigh-ins, it's not hard to look at Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo, who had trouble making 145 pounds. I don't know if he ever missed weight. But by golly, there was several media days he didn't show up to, this and that, because that guy was trying to cut down to 145. So now he is reinventing himself at 135 pounds. Hey, welcome if you're just joining the live stream. I see I got some people's on here. Feel free to say hi. Help me test out the comment section because I have a feeling they're not working like they should. So interesting here. Interesting. Marlon Moraes, of course, coming off that loss to Henry Cejudo. Before that, nobody could stop him since 2011. No, I take that back. Rafael Assunção. I knew I missed that one. June 2017. And Assunção's no joke either. Also has a win. Assunção has a win over TJ Dillashaw as well. Jose Aldo just lost against now title contender Alexander Volkanovski also on this card. But, he made it in there. The guy is probably top 4 in the featherweight division any way you look at it. I mean, he kind of stopped the Moicano hype train. He knocked out Jeremy Stevens. His losses are really the top echelon. Holloway twice, McGregor, Volkanovski. Volkanovski, and we'll talk about him in a little bit, is no joke. But, man, that is an ask against another guy that's a very big guy, Marlon Moraes. How is he going to feel after that weight cut? They're not giving him an easy fight at his 135-pound debut, but you got to think he wins. He's right there. And now you got Frankie Edgar, who was supposed to fight in January, out of that fight, possibly, because he's filling in to fight the Korean Zombie because Brian Ortega is not going to be able to make the walk. So a win here maybe sets up fight with him and Aljamain Sterling. I don't know. It's a very, very interesting dynamic here. So if this weight cut pays off, if he can do it healthily, Aldo's right there with a win. Right there. So I'm going to tell you, as great as the story as that would be, he's not going to do it. And I think Moraes got this for sure. All right, next up. Oh my, Amanda Nunes, the GOAT of the females, of both the featherweight and the bantamweight division. Of course, this is taking place at bantamweight against Nunes de Randamie, the Iron Lady. Ooh, man, Amanda has not lost in forever. But de Randamie's last loss was against Nunes, way back when, 2013. That is crazy to think about. I think Nunes, her last loss was, Kakin Zingano, rather, back in 2014. Let's take a look. Neither one of these girls have had an easy fight. So, Nunes just head kicked Holly Holm, spectacular fashion. Gabriel says Tony Ferguson is the GOAT. We'll see in April if they both can make the walk. Chris Cyborg. I mean, we saw what she did to her at 145 pounds. She hit her like a truck. Raquel Pennington. Shevchenko. Ronda Rousey. Miesha Tate. Killers on top of killers. Now let's take a look at the Iron Lady. Nunes de Randamie. Aspen Ladd. I think I picked Aspen to win that. I'm not sure why. I don't know what I was thinking. I changed my mind, I think, after the weight cut fiasco, but I didn't make that public, so it counts as wrong. Wins over Raquel Pennington. Decision over Holly Holm. This was for the 145-pound belt. Later, she was stripped. That was a weird deal. I don't think those two should have ever fought for that belt, but I'm not Dana White. Yeah, hadn't lost since 2013 with Amanda Nunes. I think that I can't bet against Amanda Nunes. I don't know who beats her at this point. She has shown to just outclass everyone lately. She outstruck Cyborg. She head-kicked the head-kick queen, Holly Holm. We saw what Holly did to Ronda Rousey. So, yeah, man. Come on. Nunes, the great Amanda Nunes, will retain her title. Hopefully we see her back at 140 pounds. If there's any challengers. I don't know. Felicia Spencer, maybe? Megan Anderson? I don't know. Oh, man. Exciting fight. Max Holloway. Alexander Volkanovski. Let's not forget, everyone's talking about how tough it is for Max to get to 145 pounds. He's never missed, and he's always looked great on fight night. So, we'll see. I think he just has some problems keeping his weight down. He says he loves to eat. He fought at 155 pounds against Dustin Poirier, but he just looked doughy. I think he is a 145-pounder who just needs to watch what he does in the offseason. But what do I know? Max just beat Frankie Edgar. Like I said before that, lost to Dustin Poirier. Look at this killer list of people he has beaten, man. Brian Ortega, Jose Aldo twice in a row, Anthony Pettis, Ricardo Lamas, Jeremy Stevens, Charles Oliveira, Cub Swanson, Cole Miller. The list keeps going on and on and on. Man, how do you beat against, or how do you pick against him? But Alexander Volkanovski, man, this guy was a rugby player. This guy was huge, and he is cutting down to 145 pounds. But again, as big as that weight cut may be, you never hear anything about it. You never know if it's good, bad, or otherwise. So I'd like to think that, for sure he makes that weight. And Gabriel says he's got Volkanovski with the upset. Ooh, I don't know, man. You can't pick until Max is beaten at 145 pounds. I can't pick against him. But Gabriel, you could be right, and there are a lot of people that agree with you, man. But, ooh, I don't know. Volkanovski, though, just beat some killers. Aldo ended Chad Mendes' career. Darren Elkins, Jeremy Kennedy, Shane Young, Mitsu Hirota, and then, a bunch of people below him that don't have any Wikipedia pages. So, you know what? I respect your decision. I don't know that I would take this fight. I don't know if I would bet on this fight. But I got Holloway, man. Holloway. We'll see how Volkanovski does in the later rounds, the championship rounds. Because I don't know. I don't see a round 5, 4, or 5 in his resume except for way back when, 2015. And I don't know what weight that was either. So, no, it was featherweight. So he could do it. We'll see. We will see. All right. The main event of the evening. Kamaru. Marty Usman against the MAGA himself, man. The MAGA fan extraordinaire, Colby Covington. Oh, Gabriel with another bold prediction here. He thinks he stops Holloway in 2. All right. Good job, man. We'll see, man. You could Mystic Gabe here. All right. So, here we go. These guys, killers. Usman has 1 L on his record back in 2013. It doesn't matter. Okay? What he did to Tyron Woodley, and Tyron was having an off night or whatever, but the output, the crazy output I saw, I've never seen anything like that in a welterweight fight until Colby Covington fought Robbie Lawler. And I don't know that these two can be more evenly matched. I mean, it's crazy. And both these guys have fought nothing but killers lately. I mean, think about it. Tyron Woodley, Rafael dos Anjos, Damian Maia. This is the hit list of Kamaru Usman right now. And, those are some very, very impressive wins. Of course, he's got the win over Warley Alves, which is Colby's loss there. But Colby, also nothing but killers. Probably more killers. Robbie Lawler, Rafael dos Anjos, Damian Maia, also Dong Young Kim, Brian Barberena, Max Payne Griffin. Golly. That little loss in there between Warley Alves, but it happens. He had a bad night. Mike Pyle, Wagner Silva. Man, how do you pick this fight? Help me out. How do you pick this fight? I don't know. But I could tell you, just by their output, they're both super disciplined guys. But my gut feeling says Colby's going to take it. He's been, as big of a mouth as that guy has, he has backed it up. And what a nice fight if Tyron Woodley ends up getting a win. Gabriel says it's a toss-up too. Let's say Tyron gets that win. What a super fight for him and Colby Covington. And probably Usman, not the most exciting guy, could get passed over for that. So we'll see. So many things that can happen. Let's say Usman wins. Who's next for him? Great question. It could be the winner of that Tyron Woodley-Leon Edwards fight. If that happens, it could be the great Jorge Masvidal. Or it could be Masvidal and Covington. Just some crazy, crazy scenarios. And Colby Usman, certainly the bigger fight of all the ones I've mentioned. And that's it, man. Enjoy the fights this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. If there's any problems with the streaming platform, let me know. I'm trying her out on Ecamm Live and then Restream. So if you like Ecamm Live and you want to test it out, go to aaronsayswhat.com, click on my Ecamm link. Get you right there. You don't have to put in a credit card. Mac computer, live streaming, boom. I see I have several listeners. A lot of you are afraid to say hi, but I appreciate you listening anyway. And until Next time, this is the MMA Fight Picks podcast. Shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.